Hello everybody, Inter back again for the second time today with another video to do a last preview for this year 2019, guys, because for me the Nitto ATP Tour Finals is the last tournament that I will cover. I know that we have Davis Cup after this, but Davis Cup I have never been a big fan and a big lover for the Davis Cup. So for me, this is the last tournament of the 2019 that I cover. And now we have the last match of the season between Stefanos Tsitsipas, the 21 years old young Greek, super talented player from Greece, against the next gen player who has a really bright future ahead of him, against the old gen. We cannot call Domenic Thiem for a next gen anymore. The 26 years older, hard-hitting tennis player Domenic Thiem from Austria. Stefanos Tsitsipas, he actually won the next gen final last year in Milano 2018, and now in his debut he is playing the ATP Tour Finals in London in 2019, and he will face Domenic Thiem. Domenic Thiem, who just a couple hour ago or so, he defeated Alexander Zverev in straight sets. Like I predicted earlier today in my prediction, I thought that Domenic will win in 3 sets, but he did it in 2 sets instead. He won 7-5, 6-4, I believe. And a pretty, not a super clean performance from Domenic Thiem, a solid performance. He didn't need to do more than so. He doesn't land a lot of first serves in. He landed 59% first serves in, but he wins a lot of first serves. He won 81% of those first serves. And Sasha Zverev, he landed 76% of his first serves, which is a pretty high number really, and won 68 of those first serves in. And the difference was, it was a big difference. Domenic wins 81% of his first serves, Sasha wins 68. And the difference was in the second winning percentage of the second serves. Domenic wins 59% of his second serves, Sasha wins 50. Why? It is pretty easy to explain. Sasha has a much weaker second serve than Domenic. I'm really not impressed in Sasha's second serve, but he did it at least better than he did yesterday against Medvedev. Against Medvedev, he won only 33% of his second services. Tonight against Thiem, he won 50%, so he did a little better work in his second serve, Sasha. But all in all, Sasha has not a great second serve. It is really something that he needs to work with it to improve his second serve and to improve his forehand. I am not in love in his forehand as well, Sasha Zverev. All in all, and Sasha had these opportunities. He had 4 breakpoint opportunities. He didn't convert any of them. 0 in the breakpoint conversion. And Domenic, he had 5 breakpoint opportunities, and he converted in 2 of them. 1 time in the first set, 1 time in the second set, and that made the deal for him in the end, and he won in straight sets. All in all, Domenic Thiem was the better player, not maybe with much, but with enough. He won all in all 13 more points than Sasha Zverev. Sasha, his season is over. He won only 1 title this year, 2019. He did a worse year than he did in 2018. In 2019, he did a better year. He was, like we know, the defending champion here in Nitto ATP Tour Finals, like they are calling this tournament nowadays. But he is out now, very expected. He did good to even go to the semi-final, to be quite honest. I didn't even expect him to go to the semi-finals. Now let's talk about the final. Domenic Thiem, the old gen, against Stefanos Tsitsipas, the next gen. Stefanos Tsitsipas, I'm completely convinced that we are seeing a future world number 1. That is my feeling. I'm completely convinced that we are seeing a multiple Grand Slam winner. He is really, really good. Already 21 years old. He is 5 years younger than Domenic Thiem. Domenic, who is 26 years old. he is a tennis player who plays tennis like Roger Federer. It is no any secret whatsoever that when you see Stefanos Tsitsipas, it's like seeing a Roger Federer, but a young version of Roger Federer, because Roger is, like we all know, he's 17 years older than Stefanos Tsitsipas. Stefanos, who took really good care of Roger earlier today with big help from Roger. I don't want to talk about that match. I did a video about that earlier today. Who are not seen that video can check it out. Let's talk about the final that we have tomorrow. The head-to-head is 4-2 to Domenic Thiem. The last time they faced each other was in Beijing in a very close battle, which Domenic won in 3 sets. So the head-to-head is just a bit of a story. That doesn't mean that what has happened in the past will happen in the future, but it says just a little about the matchup, what they have when they have faced each other. 4-2, like I said, to Domenic, but that doesn't mean that Domenic is the overwhelming favorite tomorrow, because he isn't the overwhelming favorite. You know, guys, these guys are all in the top 8 in the world. When Domenic is world number 5, I believe, when the world number 5 faces the world number 7, like Zverev is, in the end of the day, anybody can win that match, because they are so close to each other in the ranking. And the same is with Stefanos, of course. Stefanos is world number 6 and Domenic is world number 5. Any of these two players can win the match. It all depends who will be the better player on the given day. Who will do the cleanest match? Who will be the clutchest player on the given day? Who will take his chances? Tennis, and not only tennis, sports in general, when you have your chances, you have to take them, because if you don't, you will pay the price. Like Federer has done many times throughout his career when he has not taken care of match points, set points, break points, etc., etc. So, and Zverev did pay the price to some extent against Thiem as well. He had 4 breakpoint opportunities in this semi-final and didn't take any of them. So it all will come down tomorrow. Who will be the more clutch player? Who will be the more consistent player? Who will be the more solid player? Who will win the big points and things like that? Because in the end of the day, in big matches, in close matches, the player who wins the most important points will win the matches. We all know that Wimbledon final earlier this year in the summer, Federer won 14 more points than Djokovic, I believe, in total in the match, but he lost the match. And we all know why he lost the match. I don't even need to go to details. You know that, guys, bloody well why. Because you are that smart. I am totally convinced about that. So, because I don't think this match tomorrow will be easy for any of them. It will not be easy for Stefanos. It will not be easy for Domenic. Any one of these two can win the final tomorrow. Domenic Thiem, he is having, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, his best ever year in 2019. He has won 5 titles. He has played 6 finals before this one, 7 with this tomorrow. So Domenic will play his 7th final of the 2019 tomorrow. And it will be his biggest match. Yeah, Domenic has won his biggest title, Indian Wells, earlier this year when he defeated Federer in that final. But tomorrow it will be his biggest match, because this Nitto ATP Tour Finals is, in my opinion, the biggest tournament after the Grand Slams. For me, it is that. The biggest tournament. It is not any coincidence whatsoever why many people call this the 5th slam, because all the best players are competing, for God's sakes. We don't have players who are outside the top 8 in the world. So, and Domenic will play his biggest match tomorrow. And the same is for Stefanos Tsitsipas. Stefanos has never won a Masters in his career. Stefanos, I believe, has played 2 Masters 1000 finals, and he has lost both of them, if I'm not mistaken. One against Djokovic. No, I think he has played... let me think here. He has played 2 Masters 1000 finals. Yeah, Stefanos Tsitsipas. One has lost against Djokovic earlier this year in Madrid, and one has lost against last year against Rafael Nadal in Toronto in the final. Stefanos Tsitsipas. So two almost 2,000 finals has Stefanos played in his career, and he has lost both of them. So Stefanos has not a Master 1000 title to his name yet, but he will get. I'm completely convinced about that in the future because he is so good. He has everything already. Stefanos is a complete tennis player, really. He has forehand, he has backhand. His backhand is not super great, but it is good. To be this young, in this age, 21 years old, it is really good. But he has margins, big margins to improve it even more. And he will do that. He is good at the net. He has good slice. He can hit his forehand down the line. He can hit it cross court. He can hit it flat. He can hit it with spin. He can do everything with that forehand. He is really good at the net. He is good mentally. So he has everything. He's a good athlete, Stefanos. He's good at the defense. He's really good at taking the ball really early. He really will punish you if you don't have good length on your shots, like he did against Federer. Federer didn't have the greatest length today, and as fast as he saw a short ball from Federer, he just went into the court and he killed the point immediately. That is, Stefanos is a first strike tennis player, a la Roger Federer. This is not coincidence. It is not any coincidence why many people compare Stefanos with Roger Federer. So Stefanos likes and he's really good to take all the time away from his opponents, like Roger Federer, and he does it with big success. So to be successful against Stefanos, you have to have great length, a la Novak Djokovic. You have to have heavy ground strokes, a la Domenic Thiem, to really make him uncomfortable, Stefanos Tsitsipas, and to push him back into the court, to make him run. If you give Stefanos Tsitsipas time, if you give him short balls, he will kill you, really. He is not afraid of stepping into the court and just rip the ball, both with his forehand and with his backhand, but especially with his forehand. Stefanos' arsenal shot is his forehand. And the same is Domenic. Domenic likes to play offensive as well. He likes to take really big cuts on the ball, both with his forehand and with his backhand, especially with his forehand. Domenic Thiem has a huge forehand when it works. It doesn't always do that. In this match against Zverev, he did little too many unforced with his forehand, but not little, but maybe even too many. Domenic did 24 unforced all in all against Zverev, did 22 winners. He did a solid match against Zverev, not a great match, absolutely not even a good match, a solid. It was enough to beat Zverev, but with this kind of performance, Domenic will not beat Stefanos, because Stefanos is a better player than Zverev, in my opinion, even though that he has not won as many big titles as Zverev, because Zverev has won a couple of Masters, and Zverev has won 3 Masters in all in all. Zverev has won this title, Nitto ATP Tour Finals last year, but in my opinion, Stefanos is generally a better player than Zverev. Zverev doesn't have, Zverev has a pretty weak forehand and a weak second serve, and he's not as good as a mover as Stefanos is. So Domenic Thiem will not come away tomorrow with this kind of performance he did against Zverev. It was enough against Zverev, because Tsitsipas, he will make Domenic pay if Domenic makes 24 unforced tomorrow, like he did against Zverev. Especially Domenic, he has to figure out his forehand tomorrow, because he will need that forehand. He did 17 unforced with his forehand against Zverev. It will not be enough against Zverev. Domenic, he needs to serve a little higher tomorrow against Zverev. He served 59% of first serves in against Zverev. Yeah, I know Domenic has a great second serve, but Tsitsipas has better returns than Zverev. Tsitsipas will make Domenic pay more than what Zverev did if Domenic doesn't raise up that number in first serves. He will need to be over 60% to defeat Tsitsipas tomorrow. He will need it. I believe so. I don't think that it will be enough for Thiem. Maybe it will, but I have so big confidence in Stefanos that I don't think it will be enough if Domenic is under 60% in first serves. He will need to be over 60, 61, 63, 65. And if he is that, then I believe I'm confident that Domenic will win. Stefanos is playing his 6th final tomorrow. He has won 2 titles this year. He has lost 3 finals. And all the finals he has lost today has been to Djokovic, Federer in Dubai, Djokovic in Madrid, and the third final that he has lost this year is actually against Domenic Thiem in that Beijing final last a couple of weeks ago. So Domenic is making his 7th final this year, Stefanos at 6, but Domenic has lost only 1 final, Stefanos has lost 3 finals. And the only final Domenic has lost this year actually it is in that French Open final against Rafa Nadal. So Domenic is pretty clutch in finals this year at least. But Domenic I've heard he has had some troubles with his health. He has been cold or something like that. I don't know, something like that. So he's not feeling 100% healthy in his body. If he have had some virus or something, I don't know if that will affect him tomorrow, but I am pretty certain that Domenic will give his all tomorrow, because this is the last match of the season. Stefanos will give his all as well. And like I said, in the end of the day, it will come down who will win the biggest points, who will be the most clutch, who will be the best under pressure. And both of these guys are good under pressure. And you know that, I've said it before, Domenic is a beast when it comes to deciding sets. He has played, I think, 17 matches this year in deciding sets, and Domenic has won 15 of them. He has lost only 2 this year. And so he's really good in deciding sets. So if Tsitsipas will win this match, his big chance is in close sets, in straight sets. If the match goes to a 3rd set, I don't fancy Stefanos' chances. I'm not saying that Stefanos doesn't have a chance if the match goes to a 3rd set, but if you look at the past history in 2019, it shows us that Domenic is a beast in those deciding sets. But that doesn't mean that he will win all the deciding sets in his life, because that will not happen. He can lose in the 3rd set against Stefanos tomorrow. But look, this match is not easy to predict. My God, the world number 5, the Domenic Thiem, is facing the world number 6, Stefanos Tsitsipas. So any of these 2 can win this match. This is the biggest match of their careers so far. One of them will win their biggest title in their careers so far. Who will win this one? The only thing that concerns me, about Domenic Thiem is he is not as consistent in his shot selection. He has huge ground strokes. He takes the ball, he hammers the ball, he crushes the ball. But he makes more unforced errors than Stefanos Tsitsipas. He does that, even though that Stefanos did a lot of unforced errors against Federer as well. Actually, he did 27 unforced errors against Federer today. But I don't know, if it feels like Stefanos is more, you can trust in his consistency level more than Domenic's. You can trust that he will do less unforced errors than Domenic. Domenic's forehand sometimes just can disappear. His forehand just can break down sometimes. It can just fly out from the court like it did in some extent times against Zverev today. Like I said, 17 unforced errors with that forehand. And forehand is Domenic's biggest arsenal, in my opinion. Yeah, he has a great backhand as well. He can hit his backhand flat, he can hit it with topspin, he can hit it down the line, he can hit it cross court, he can do everything with backhand. but it is the forehand that gives Domenic the biggest success. The same is the case with Stefanos. It is Stefanos' forehand that gives him so big success. But I don't know, Stefanos feels like more a complete player. He's better at the net than Domenic is, in my opinion. On the returns, they are pretty much similar on the returns. On the backhand, it is not easy. You know what? I'm going to go with Thiem here. I'm not confident. I'm not 100% sure that Thiem will win this one. I will give 55% my edge to Thiem and 45% my edge to Stefanos. I will give Thiem 10% more of my favorite than Stefanos. 10% more, not more. The match, I would not be surprised if Tsitsipas wins. Absolutely not. I would not be surprised at all. Because Stefanos is a complete player. It is only his backhand that can be a weakness times to times. But he can hit the backhand really clean, really good as well. He can hit it cross court. He can hit it clean. He can slice it. He can do everything with that backhand. But sometimes Stefanos Tsitsipas' backhand can be too short. And when it comes too short, Thiem will punish him. He will make him pay. But Thiem, on the other hand, he can do a lot of unforced errors. Thiem is like a Stan Wawrinka in some way. Stan Wawrinka, he hits the ball really huge, both with his forehand and with his backhand. But when Stan is on fire, he can do so many unforced errors. And Thiem is the same kind of player. But Thiem has done tremendously improvements this year. He has cut down his unforced errors. But tonight against Zverev, he did too many. 24 it is not little, especially with this huge Arsenal shot forehand. But I feel that I just feel that Domenic will be too heavy for Stefanos. He will be too powerful. He has a great second serve. Stefanos much better than Zverev. He has better returns than Zverev, Domenic Thiem. I just think that Thiem will be too powerful for Stefanos. He will maybe make a lot of unforced errors. I am pretty confident that Thiem will do more than 20 unforced errors, but Thiem will also, I believe he will do maybe 30 winners as well, at least 30 winners, maybe more, but at least he will land between 25 and 30 winners, Thiem tomorrow, maybe even more than 30 winners. So depends on how long the match goes. Stefanos' chance is to win this match in straight sets. If he doesn't win the match in straight set, Thiem will win the match if the match goes to a third set. That is my feeling. But I will go with Thiem. I think that Thiem will be too heavy, too powerful. He will give Stefanos. He will put Stefanos Tsitsipas in a tremendous pressure. He will not do a flat kind of match like Federer did today against Stefanos. And Thiem is in full confidence after winning 5 titles this year, after playing his 7th final and only losing 1 final this year against Rafa Nadal, and after beating Djokovic and Federer and Djokovic back to back in the group stage. So I will go with Thiem in this final, but I would not be surprised at all if Stefanos wins. Absolutely not. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.